All right. We are back and we're live once again, and I'm excited to have Niamah join us tonight. Once she comes on here, you're going to see one of the prettiest smiles you've seen in a while. So let me bring her in, and there she is.
Hello, Mark. Thanks for
How you?
having me.
Thanks for coming on. How you doing today?
Not bad. Having a great day so far.
Yeah, no complaints.
No, well, I don't think I want to complain today.
It don't help, does it?
Just stay happy.
The best we can, right? Well, I really
Exactly.
appreciate you coming on here and supporting the show and the channel and all. So let's just kind of kick things off and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, sure. I'm Niamh. I'm from New York. Been down here in Georgia since 2007. My husband and I, we opened up a mechanic shop and we're still here. I decided that I wanted to open up a creative center. So as of March 6th will be 1 year of me doing a creative center. I kind of wanted to get out of the mechanic world and do something. I guess I was doing something for my community by helping to fix their cars, but now I want to do
Yeah.
something for the community to motivate, encourage, and do some family stuff.
And congratulations on that 1 year. It
Thank
goes by
you. Thank you.
it goes by fast, but sometimes it feels like forever, doesn't it? With all the things you have to do as an entrepreneur, and things start out as a thought and a dream, and next thing you know, you're in the throes of it, and here you are a year
So
later.
true.
Now, interesting. So, I don't know if you and I touched on this, but we have something extremely similar. I was raised in a family-owned automotive repair business.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what I grew up. It was my father's business, and then my
Okay.
partner Jeff. That's how me and Jeff met. Is my father had sold his first shop, and the man
Yes.
that bought his shop, Jeff, was working there, and I had to run down there. I was probably 16 years old and had to go by there, and Jeff was working in the back, one of the back bays, and that's how me and Jeff met 40 something years ago. So we
Wow.
have something in common, fixing cars, but I can't fix them today because I don't know what they've done to these all this
Oh, it's
technology and stuff.
a lot of new technology, a
Lot of different.
lot of computerized stuff going on.
Yep. But if you would share a little bit of your experience, you had mentioned to me about I think it was your grandmother. So you've had some experiences with being a caregiver for your family members. So just kind of touch on that and share your past experiences with that.
Yeah, sure. My grandmother, 2010, we found out that she was sick, and of course, I live in Georgia, but I would fly up and back and forth to New York just to
Hmm.
go spend some time with her. She was found out in January that she had cancer, and by time July came around, she passed away. But during that time frame, um, she's a funny lady, very independent. I've never seen her sick before, so this is
Mm.
actually the first time she's ever been sick, which is it took us off guard. But she remained funny, she remained characteristic, and the only thing that during the process we noticed that her medication started to change her personality.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can get frustrated with seniors, like, why are they so mean? Why are they this and why are they that? But I noticed that that was never her personality. And she just turned into a complete woman when she started taking the medication for her cancer treatment. So, but while just going up there to visit her, I just wanted to make sure that, we can keep her laughing and, make her comfortable. The good thing with my family is we all try to make it our duty just to be by her bedside.
Mm.
Because she was the person that always, she fed everybody, she took care of everybody. She made it possible to make sure that we were all comfortable. So while she was sick, just being able to keep her company and making sure that she stayed happy was the main thing. The hardest part was just to watch her go through the changes
Yeah.
of being in pain, and then like I said, knowing that her personality just kind of basically changed in a matter of from January to July.
Wow.
So
How
yeah,
old was she when all that started?
84 years old.
84.
84
You
years
may
old.
you may have said that, and I apologize if that slipped past me. But that is one of the challenges is when you're watching someone that has been such a huge part in your life, and to have their personalities change, it's hard to. You're like, I don't know who I'm looking at and who I'm around. You have to learn to adapt and adjust to that, and it's not easy. And when you were
Yeah.
mentioning, that's what's been part of the. I would say it's a grieving process. The longer God gives us to live, and we're along for that ride, there's a lot of grieving that takes place because there's a lot of loss and personality, not able to, like my mom cooked 3 meals a day. She was the homemaker, cooked 3 meals a day. And when it
Hmm.
comes to that time to where she'll never cook in the kitchen again, it's just
Yeah.
those kind of things happen. It's a hard adjustment. But um, did you and your family do okay together during all that? Sometimes it can cause some stress in the family.
Um, no, we pretty much did pretty good handling it. She made sure of that. Um, so yeah, she made sure no I guess with her knowing that she was leaving us,
Mm,
um, in that process, like I said, she tried to make everything just calm. But
yeah.
once you couldn't control it, like with the medication, if you touched her bed, I'll give you an example. Because sometimes families are going through things and they don't realize like what their family member is going through, and the changes their attitude is changing, and it's just like, why is this person behaving like this? So my grandmother, um, once she started taking the medication, is like if you touched her bed, she thought you were attacking her or you were coming
Oh,
after
wow.
her. So those are some of the side effects of her medication. So
Yeah.
sometimes, or she would just be like a little agitated or moody, and it's like, who is this person? Why,
Yeah.
why is she behaving like this? So we have to be understanding to her different behaviors, and just know that, this
Did
is a
you catch
part.
yourself, because when it first happens, you don't realize what's happening, and you have to almost sometimes catch yourself of realizing, "Ooh, I did not react properly," because you wasn't aware of what's going on yet. I'm speaking for myself. As obviously I'll be 60 in June, so my mom's been my mom for
Yeah.
every of the my life, and trying to adjust to things and her changing. Like for example, with when their mind starts slipping, is you don't need to
Mhm.
correct them. You just kind of go along with it. And I'd caught myself correcting, and I realized, oh, she can't help this now. So you have to,
Right. I
readjust how you interact.
Yeah, I think once you can be understanding, sometimes, okay, so like my grandmother that's living right now, she's 92 years old. And oh man, she's always been so independent. And around maybe a couple years ago, they amputated one of her legs.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
this woman is a woman, she's going shopping, she's doing things for the church, she's
Hmm.
serving people. She came all the way here to visit me maybe about 5 years ago to visit one of her friends in the hospital, and she had her legs. So it's like life just changed for her in a split second, where they told her, okay, your blood is not circulating, you're gonna have to cut off your legs. And she was in her early 80s. She's 92 now. Um, so she was always the baker. She's the best cook. Um, and now she's just sitting in a wheelchair. And
Mm.
sometimes I tell her daughters, like, okay, she's sitting in a wheelchair. She can't cook anymore, but at least give her things to like cut up, because you don't want to just take
Ah, yeah,
that
yeah,
away.
yeah. That's good.
You know, they're used to being so independent. You don't want to take. You're sick, but you still have life.
Yeah.
So if you can find a little things, maybe she can't touch the stove, but maybe she can help you peel something, or unless it comes to the point where the mind is really not functioning to where they can cut or do
Sure.
anything.
Right,
But
right.
while they still have their mind, I would give them things to like cut or just do some prepping, even fold napkins.
Just to
just
just to
just
participate in the event, so to speak. Well,
right.
that's some advice there, actually. So, but what other advice do you have for others that are entering the caregiving role, or maybe in the throes of it, and they're just overwhelmed and frustrated? What kind of advice do you have that you picked up on during your days?
Um, one day we're gonna get old, and I use the slogan "Once a man, twice a child," right?
Yeah.
Um, one day we're going to get old. When we're younger, we have our movements. And when we're younger, somebody took care of us. Now we get older and we're going back to this place where somebody has to take care of us. Well, I'm an independent woman. I don't want anybody giving me a shower. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we still have our
Yeah.
pride, right?
Yeah.
So we got to figure ways, just as it's stressful on the family member to say, well, I got to take, well, yeah, it it could be stressful on a family member to say, I gotta be here 24/7 to take care of a person. But
Yeah.
the person that's being taken care of that's used to being independent, it's hard for them too. So it's fine and balance. And if you can get some help with Medicaid or Medicare or any caretaker that can come in and assist you, I wouldn't say do it all by yourself. Find family members or whatever assistants that can come in and maybe my grandmother had somebody that came into the house a couple of hours for the day just to relieve my
Mhm.
mom,
Yeah.
so that some of the weight can come off of her because it is a lot of work and you need a break from it.
Yeah.
um, but another thing I would say is keep them active, keep them active, they still have life, keep them entertained as much as you
Yeah.
can. Go out in nature. They're coming to the end of their life, but they're still living. So don't just let
Yeah.
them sit up in the bed and just say, when is my time? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you
So
hear my dog snoring?
no,
Do you hear it?
no,
Okay,
not
I didn't know if it was picking it up or not, but she's
she's
sawing some
snoring.
logs in my lap. She's going to town, so I didn't know if it was picking it up. I
She's
wanted to just
comfortable.
make a note of. You just said this a minute ago, and I love this when you wrote it in your email, and it was the once a man, twice a child. How did that?
Uh,
How did you birth that saying? What
you
happened?
always you always hear stuff like that because, just like I said, when you're a baby, somebody takes care of you, right? I'll give you an example. My mom had a client. She's a caretaker now. After her mom passed away, she decided to venture off in that and doing the same thing. So
Mm,
she loves it. So she had a private client, and the one of the caretakers went on vacation. So the son asked if she knew anybody that can come up and help while the person was on vacation. It just so happens that I was coming up around that time. So she was like, well, would you want to come and sit in? I said, okay, I'll come and help. And, the back to being independent, this woman that I met, you could tell that her life was just, she was an independent woman. She was very classy. Even in her olden age, she's still
mm.
classy. She's getting her hair done. She's getting her nails done. My mom used to take her out before she had dementia. So
Okay.
before she started drifting away, to where she couldn't do anything anymore, that's what she was doing before. But when I met her, she was just sitting in bed,
Mm,
sitting in a wheelchair, sitting just
yeah.
waiting for life to end. And now she's back to her child stage. She doesn't want to eat the foods. She doesn't want heavy foods. Um, my mom would give her smoothies or um, cook like light foods, give her fruits, things that can give her the nutrients that she needs instead of just the weighty foods. If you gave her like heavy food, she wouldn't eat it. But if you gave
Mm,
her a smoothie or a shake, she's devouring it. So it's back to like when we
mm,
were children, we're having breast milk or like
yeah.
applesauce.
Yeah.
Um, so another thing, just entertainment. I gave her little things where she could draw on to just keep her mind active.
Hmm.
Um, I had some music with me, and she she liked Frank Sinatra, and I this lady was in the wheelchair, and every day I would walk in and she just looked, like I said, she just looked like, just take me now, God, just take me
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I put on Frank Sinatra. I
She'd
got
wake
the
up.
biggest smile ever. It's like
That's
life
something.
just, and it's like she had a picture next to her bed where it was her and her husband. She pointed to the picture.
Oh,
So it's like
wow.
she remembered her
Remembered.
husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So my mom was telling me about who he was. I'm like, who is that guy that she pointed to? But anyway, when I put on the Frank Sinatra song, um, I got her out of her wheelchair and I rocked her. We danced, and all
Oh, that's awesome.
I got, I got smiles.
Yeah, that is
So,
awesome.
for the time
Well,
that I
y- yeah, you can see how that can happen because even now, if I hear some songs from the '80s, I'll have
was
that young feeling again, and I'll quickly realize, man, where did that
uh-huh.
feeling go? Right. But music has a way of connecting even smells, certain smells can take you back to different times. But I've seen, I forgot what program it was, but it was about, people with dementia and stuff, and how music would wake a lot of them up, and they would
Yes,
kind of go from that zombie state to connecting to the music that they relate to. So the power of
yes,
that's really cool. But
yes.
I just love that once a man, twice a child. That is so true. I'm watching that happen to my mom and dad. I'm watching them, you know,
They're back to
reverting
baby.
back. They can't even, like, I watched dad build two businesses from nothing, and now he has a hard time with writing a check. You know,
Yeah.
and on a funny, humorous note, they have really gotten a sweet tooth. They like ice cream fanatics. Happen always wanting ice cream and stuff. But anyway, was speaking of your business anniversary. Tell us a little bit about the Sassy Collection Creative Center and how that came about.
Okay, yeah. So the Sassy Collection Creative Center, it came about because my brother relapsed. And I was in New York, and it kind of took me aback. Um, I went to go visit him to try to get him out of where he was, to try to help him.
Mm,
And there's a place in New York that's called Guy Brewer, and that's where he was, and he didn't look good. And
mm,
I kind of had the chance to stop in the community and just look around me and see what's happening. I'm seeing the cops drive up and down the street. Um, I'm seeing the addicts, they look lost, and I'm seeing the dealers just,
hmm
destroying the community. But I can't knock
Yeah,
them because I don't know what their experience is all about.
yeah,
And it kind of broke me because I didn't expect to see my brother in that
yeah,
situation again. And when I got back to Georgia, I kind of paused.
yeah.
I kind of fell in my shell, and
Mm,
my husband and I have the mechanic shop, and in the building next door. I walked over there to the next door, and there's just a bunch of cars there, and I kept looking around like, what do I want to do with this place? What do I want to do with this place? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna do some jewelry making classes. And then I
mm,
walked, days later, I walked back in here and I looked around, and something just kept saying, you want to do something different. So I told my husband, I said, I want the building next door. He was like, no, you can't have it. I was like, no, I need the building next door. The idea that I have right now, you can't tell me no.
mm,
So I only really thought about just doing jewelry making classes. I didn't know it was going to be the Sassy Collection Creative Center. But
mm,
once God laid it on me, he was like, okay, this is what you're doing. So it's
mm.
been a lot of cleanup,
Yeah,
and we have a beautiful center. So
yeah. I'm looking
that's what
forward
it
to seeing it. Well, I think there's nothing more powerful than having a personal experience impact your life to want to make a change for others that are, because I'm sure that with your experience with your brother, when you see people on the streets and struggling with drugs or whatever, you have different eyes that you see it. You see your brother, and just like
yes.
my sister that was uh, tormented with bipolar, and
Wow.
just the mental illness, and the streets are full of mentally ill people that don't have
Yeah.
the family there to pick up the pieces or whatever. And it's
Right.
easy um, to not realize that, and and
Yeah.
and not that you're asking for this, is I'm just sharing what's come to my mind as I was talking, that when you take on that kind of load and you want to make such a difference, sometimes it gets overwhelming and frustrated because you don't feel like you're getting the traction that you want.
Right.
But you just got to keep doing what you're called to do. And even it may, we all want to save the planet as far as, eat the elephant and make a difference for everybody. But sometimes it may just be for that one or two here and there. So just
Yeah.
be encouraged and keep doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is a good thing. And one of the other things you shared, as far as for seniors, there's a lot of seniors out there that are still active. They still have their minds. They just are running out of things to do and places to go because the world seems
Mhm.
to cater to the young. So share a little
Yeah.
bit about the events that you're putting on as far as social activities and what you have coming up later in the month.
Well, I could tell you this before we go into activities. Um, the lady that I was telling you about, and
Hmm.
just having her dance and just seeing her excited over the music.
Mm,
Um, that's why I didn't limit this center to just children. I
okay.
did it for all groups, so we can have just time for just seniors to just enjoy themselves too.
Yeah.
Because you're aging, you're getting older, yes, but you could still connect with other seniors and have fun. You
Yeah.
know, we have movie matinees, we have paint classes. You want to learn how to make something. You get creative. So um, using your creativity, it helps with if somebody has a dementia or Alzheimer's, or just going through different things, or just want to do something. We have those classes that can uplift them and just be happy that they came in and created something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did this center for all age groups, parents, just bringing their kids to come together and do different things with their children, um, bringing a family atmosphere together, create memories, create good memories. Where once I'll say this: there's a lot of people that's sitting in jail because they have mommy daddy issues, and right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
people sitting in jail because of mommy daddy issues. And you said you're 60. I know somebody that's 60. You're
I
almost
can't
60,
in
but I know
June.
somebody
I
that's
gotta take every day. I gotta take every
almost,
day and count it.
but I know somebody that's 65 years old, and he still has daddy issues. His dad
Yeah.
is in his 80s, but he's still like, well, why didn't my dad, your dad had issues too. But like I said, sometimes as we get so caught up into working
Mm.
and surviving, and we don't realize the memories that we create with our families, it lasts with us for a lifetime. So let's
What
create good memories.
Yeah, what you just said is really, really true. It's interesting you said that because me and my oldest sister were talking the other day, just about mom and dad, and then specifically talking about dad. And we started talking about what mom and dad went through when they were
Right.
raised. And my father was raised. His father was mean, never showed him any love at all, and it was just
Right.
mental and some very aggressive spankings or whoopings or slapping around or whatever. So, and same thing with mom. Her father was damaged in the war, and of course he was an alcoholic. So it's like what you're saying is like when as you get older, you realize your parents are people too, and they would
Right.
they just do the best they can. But when you were talking about all age groups, something that popped in my head that I think would be to be fun, and I think it's needed. Speaking of
Right.
geezers like me that's turning 60, the ones that grew up in the 80s, everybody says something about the times they grew up in, but I'm sorry, the 80s were awesome. The 80s that was such a magical era.
Y'all had
We're
a lot of
all
fun.
Oh my gosh, we're all so these phones, the technology is just too much sometimes to where growing up in the 80s, we all remember when it was no such of a thing as your phone hung on the wall at your house. If someone
Mhm.
needed to get a hold of you, it just rang. You
Right.
they if you wasn't home, you wasn't home. There wasn't even an answer machine yet.
Yeah.
Wasn't pagers. And if you were on the phone, it was busy.
Exactly.
Wasn't call waiting or caller ID. Point being, it would be so fun, I think, to have an event that flashback to the 80s or whatever. And the rules of the evening is you leave your phone in your car, no phones allowed at all, and
This
just
generation will
have a DJ there that plays nothing but music from that era. And
I like that.
just take a break and just come
Yeah.
in, and just like you were saying with the Frank Sinatra and her coming to life and smiling and going from a zombie to hearing Frank Sinatra, it took her back.
Yeah.
Same thing happens now, is to have that event, have people come, take a break from the stresses of life and corporate and caregiving, all the pressures of life, modern day world, political environment, blah, 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 and just go back in time and just play that music and just
Yeah.
have
Sometimes
fun.
that, and you'll have the
Let's do
best
it.
time of your life.
Let's do it.
I,
Let's put together an event. You know how
let's
many
do it.
people, that we, just in the senior niches, just take the senior niche and the professionals that are involved in senior living. There's so much pressure that so many people are under from corporate companies they work for, from having a heart that you're always pouring out into elderly people, and the sadness that you see, and the sobering reality of, if I keep living, I'm going to be old too. I personally kind of freak out a little bit, because I'm like, no disrespect, God, but I don't think I want to get that old.
You to where you're not healthy.
Right. So,
Because there's some
anyway,
90-year-olds that's healthy.
well, that point taken. So I'll rephrase it. I don't want to get old and not spunky.
There you go.
So, but I think that'd be. I got some comments here. So, there's Latanya. Have you met you? Did you meet Latanya Shockley?
I'm not sure.
She's awesome. But yeah, she goes, those were the good old days. Call the operator to interrupt. But she says, we just take a break event. So would you be interested in us doing something jointly together at your business?
Can.
We can promote that event. And
yes,
I know Latanya will be there. I know she'll be there. But yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool to do. But anyway, do you have anything else you would like to add?
I say enjoy life, because you're around seniors, and you're watching them to the end. The greatest thing is we got to learn how to enjoy life for each day that we have, and pray that if we get to live to see the age of a number,
don't say 60.
Well, praying to be in our right mind.
Yeah.
That's my prayer, to be in my right mind. And if I'm not in my right mind, I do pray that I get somebody that can that will take care of me. And I guess that's what my due diligence is for today. Is my thing is, with this center, I take care of my community, and I pray that when I get old, they'll take care of me.
Yeah.
So we have children. I got
a long ways to go.
Couple years before I turned 60. I got less than 20 years before I turned 60.
You got a long ways to go. I'll trade with you.
It goes by very quick, because I don't know when I touch 40.
You blink and it's there. I'm just like, when did this happen? And I guess mindset, but I'm not one of those that are quote unquote aging gracefully. I miss being aggressive, athletic, strong, all those things. I was always very competitive, and I was the grappler type and all, but you have to learn to adapt and accept the fact that you're not you're not young anymore, but you can pick up other hobbies and other things that are more age appropriate or whatever. But yeah, that I think that might be a good thing to talk about, and it'd be a good way to additional way to promote and get your business out there and bring it in and have some fun together. But I really want to thank you for taking the time to come on here with me and supporting the channel and all. I greatly appreciate that. And
And thank you
hopefully
for
I'll be seeing you pretty soon. But yeah, I'll be in touch. And what's the event in March that you got coming up?
So March, we're going to be celebrating our 1 year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
For being here. March 6th will make it 1 year, and we're going to host a pop-up shop where businesses can come out and show off their business, tell the community about their business. But there's always something happening at the Sassy Collection Creative Center. So just you could check out our website at www.tsccc.net for our classes, our events, our empowerment seminars. There's
Let
always
me put
something going on
it down www dot what?
here. tsccc.net. I have salsa classes. I have Latin and Caribbean dance classes. We're
Is
going to
that
be doing some. We're going to be doing something for the seniors too. I don't
okay?
have it just yet, but it's coming soon. Just for
Is that
seniors, Latin and
did I
dance
get
class.
that right? Did I get the website right there on the screen?
Yes.
tsccc.net. All right. Well, there it is on the screen if anybody comes across it. But anyway, I greatly appreciate it. It's been great, and I look forward to seeing you again. And I look forward to the possibility of maybe putting together that. See, it's not fair for me to say the '80s, right? But come on.
Hey, the '80s were good. The
Okay. All
'80s.
right. Well, the
I,
'80s
I,
were
I'm born '79, so I grew up in the era where the music was fun.
okay. Well, there you go. So even though I'm much older, the '80s were. Whew, that was the
Y'all had fun.
good times. I would love to be able to revisit some of that. But all right. Well, thank you
All
so
right.
much. I wish you
Have
a good rest of your evening, and I'll see you soon. So stand by. We're done, and see everybody next time.